welcome to It's a Write-Off.
The show where we talk about business, taxes, and all of the decisions that seem like a good idea at the time.
I'm Trevor,
I'm Joel.
and I'm just waiting for you so I can open a beer. All right, so
We're doing this
we're
because
fun accountants.
we tried doing one the first time and it was m- much too rigid, much too professional like. So
I was actually hungover, so this is probably setting a bigger warning sign that this is a modest intervention. But
our wife suggested this.
yeah,
So.
we got permission. So that's the most important thing.
Is it?
Well, I got a 12-pack, so maybe we'll figure out. We'll see. How many drinks can we have and still give a coherent podcast about business, taxes, wealth, and all the other things that we seem to get into on a regular basis? We'll find out. Anyways, it's a workshop.
What are we doing here today?
I don't know. Let's talk about, I think I want to talk about what this is. Like, what are we doing? Who are we? A little bit of welcome to what's going on with us. Like, what gives us the authority to talk about any of this stuff? And let's just do that. Let's just treat this as like a welcome. And here we go. So, I'm Trevor Myres. We have Myres CPA here in San Antonio, Texas. We're an accounting firm focusing on tax planning, wealth management, basically anything with the word advisory in front of it, kind of for the most part. Joel, tell everybody what you do here.
My title is COO. So
that sounds more fancy than it really is.
That is a very true statement. So operations, kind of front of house with new clients coming in. I deal a lot with the kind of that intro call, the initial onboarding that we have with clients until we have the handoff to either you or tax manager, or whoever else is going to be working with that client. We kind of start with them from the beginning and see them through that whole kind of 30, 60-day process that we have.
Yeah, I was being kind of a jerk. I had my title as president for like the longest time, even whenever I just formed the business. And I was literally the only person. I was the only person here. It was like employee of the month. It
looks good on a business card or like on the bottom of your email tag.
I was manifesting.
That's
right. Manifesting.
That's right.
Yeah. So no, Joel handles front of house, everything client facing, client related. I mean, kind of like first stop on, but I think too, just anything on the side of things. So I think we want to share a little bit about what we're doing as a group, we're doing as a firm, for any of those that are out there kind of doing this journey with us. Sometimes we'll talk about, what we're doing here internally. That might be a little more centric to our accounting folks. Talk about things that we're doing with clients. Accountants like to have it, but just being transparent about what we're doing, sharing what we're into, sharing the struggles that we have, wins, losses, all the above.
Well, you and I are podcast people, so we've gotten and other sources of knowledge that we like to listen to and follow people that we either, I wouldn't say aspire to, but look up to and get motivation from or get ideas from and those type of things. So we feel like we've taken a lot from them and we'd like to give back in a way. And this is a way that we can do that and try to have fun doing it and let people know a little bit more about what we're doing and why and the struggles kind of behind it too, because it's definitely not all rainbows and unicorns.
Yeah. So what are we doing right now? What's kind of the thing that's near mind? So I would say, focusing so much lately on that client experience, like the client relationship from, I think we've spent a lot of time, and I'm sure we can go down on many rabbit holes on this, on the sales process, the new client, the acquisition, the marketing, the ICPs, everything else. But something that's near on my mind is just that client experience. Like, what do clients, because in the end, like, there are great accountants everywhere. There are great firms everywhere, but we seem to have carved off a niche doing tax planning, and you're coming from outside of industry, and I did tax planning with you, but like in the end, like how we deliver the service, I think is the big differentiator. So that's something, I think that's the most, that's on my mind. It's what I'm going to, it's what I'm waking up with. It's what I'm going to sleep with, is like, how are we delivering that service? And then from the ongoing meetings to the new client, to the discovery, to the onboarding. So, tell me a little bit about what you think, just kind of from an outside of just, you didn't come up into this accounting world right away.
Right.
What do you think about, like, how do you feel like that client experience, or how would you see that as someone walking in the door today? Like, how do you craft that message or that experience? Because I'm all about the like I feel like we're marrying a hospitality industry
Mhm.
business. That's kind of way that's the way I visualize it in my mind. So what do you think? What do you think we're doing? What are we doing well? What do we need improvement on? What do you think clients experience as they come in the door?
So I'll start off with the fact that, you know, been doing a lot of these intro calls with clients, right? So what I've realized is, unfortunately, from an industry standpoint, the bar is kind of low for us.
Yeah.
I don't mean to say that in a rude way or be rude, because the industry that I came from previously in insurance, the bar was low there too.
Mhm.
A lot of clients stuck with us for years because we answered the phone when they
Mhm.
call. We responded to an email.
Would you
What
say
a
that's
crazy idea.
would you say that's one of the what would you say where does that rank on the pain list for new clients?
Oh, it's in top three.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right.
It's in top 3, like,
Right.
they're calling, "I'm calling y'all because you have proactive on your website, and
Yeah.
I haven't gotten a call back in 3 weeks on a piece of property that I'm buying or a 1031 that I'm doing," or
Mm.
whatever the case may be, and those are big deals in people's lives, right? And that's where they kind of engage with you. They stick with you because they wanna have that relationship so they can call when those situations happen,
Mhm.
and you can kinda be their advisor for
Yeah.
them through that, and if you they can't get to you in a reasonable amount of time or someone on your team, right? Usually the question's not super complicated. It doesn't seem like, but they need somebody to either validate what they're getting from ChatGPT nowadays
Right.
or or to give them an idea of what they should be doing or what's out there. Cause I spoke to a person today about a DST who had never heard of it and
Right.
they've got leftover 1031 money. I'm getting off topic here, but um really from our perspective or for what we do well is the delivery of even the proposal, or we have a really, I would say, a firm process that has been refined multiple times,
Yeah.
even since I've been here, just trying to make that better, more seamless for us as a firm, but also for the client. um,
Yeah. I feel like we treat and this has been crafted significantly more since you joined and we kind of started partnering on this together is treating sales as seriously as we would the technical work.
mhm,
Treating marketing and sales and onboarding equally as important as doing the tax return. I mean, at least
right.
that's how I feel. I
Mhm,
mean, not every member of the team has that same role, but and I'll give a shout out to a buddy, Luke Fry. That's like his message to accountants a lot too. And now he's kind of representing Canopy, and visited with him last week in Vegas, and but that was something that he talked about early on was treating sales like having a process, a CRM, tracking leads, from
mhm,
a marketing standpoint, getting your name out there. But a lot of people don't do it. But I think having a process around the sales side. Um, does differentiate us.
mhm,
Most of us are just drinking from a fire hose and we're not thinking about that. And it's the ugly S word all the time of sales. But if you're not doing it, like there seems to be a market of people who are it sounds a little extreme, but like craving it. They're
mhm,
craving
mhm,
advice.
mhm.
They're
Oh,
craving
no doubt.
they're
The
craving
conversation,
validation.
the
They're
relationship.
they're, I mean, business ownership is it's a lonely island a lot of times. So sometimes they want people to come on board with them. They want people to validate them. They want people to help navigate the waters. And so it's like, I mean, that's what we do as professionals. We do it every day.
Mhm,
But also, like, how do you? The bar is so low. I'm getting off topic, but the bar is so low. Like just as simple as designing the right type of relationship so that you can
build that capacity.
build the capacity.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Well,
the intentionality
I
around how you wanna work with clients.
to your point, I think from that initial call when I explained to him what our process, hey, here's the next couple steps. Here's what our total process. You want to hear about it? Sure. I'll
Yeah,
it's a little long winded, but how does that make you feel?
mm,
No, that feels great.
uh,
That's what I'm looking for, right? I hear that a lot. So it's like the you're building some trust there initially that hey, you will return that call.
yeah,
You will be that person to respond to email because you have a process. Like
right.
they kind of associate those two things together. Like, hey, hopefully they have their shit together. Like if
Yeah,
they've got this process and they've got, kind of at least this part figured out, hopefully they can exceed my low expectations that I have right now and
yeah.
start to build that trust and that comfort kind of day one.
Official first cuss word on the podcast
Thank
done
you.
by Joel. First one. Drop the S
It
bomb.
was
It's
this
the
lime cactus that you bought. I've
yeah,
never had this
this
before.
was the
I'm gonna blame it on that.
this was the most reasonable beer at our very small local um multifaceted local business
I
that we
saw
have.
a thing today on Instagram for
They're not paying us for ads time,
no,
so
they
they
we
turn
should
it
actually
around.
put
Make
our
sure it's turned.
why don't we have our koozies on this?
That's a good point. It's because we don't have small can koozies. We have the skinny drinks.
I saw a hat today that said Mulligan Ultra on it, and it was a golf hat.
Take it.
It was pretty
Take
good.
it.
It was well
Take
done.
and,
Anyways,
yeah. But now we've kind of broken the barrier there. I feel like there may be a few of those choice words.
you're
We'll figure
welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
You
Because
you
that's
have
my
more
rule.
than me. You
That's
have
my
more
rule. My rule. When a client cusses in front of me, it's like a celebration. If I get to, I hate taxes. I cuss a little bit. It is what it is. Um, anyways, so where were we? But I think the idea around like I use it kind of tongue in cheek, but like most situations are set up to where it's like, hey, you talk to your CPA once a year, talk to your accountant once a year, they do your taxes, tell you how much you owe. Good working with you. Talk to you next year. Please don't call me.
Mhm.
Like that's basically what
Everyone laughs when you say that line.
yeah, because they know exactly what it is. I mean, I use it as a joke, but it's true and it's sad, and I don't want that to be the case. So, like, how can people develop this? And so, I think internally, the way my mind works is, we're talking hospitality, and we're talking, and I've been saying this a lot with you, and I've been saying a lot with like kind of the team is just like the mentality around like the Ritz Carlton versus the Marriott versus the Fairfield, right? Is just how can you develop a like Ritz Carlton like experience at a service based business?
Mhm.
Everything from the moment you step on that property is curated.
Mhm.
From the time you pull up to who takes your bags to how you check in to the experience across the board. Odd thing is, 90% of visitors that stay there don't even use the amenities.
Mhm.
And that, you know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
like, but they value knowing that if they need it, it's there,
Mhm.
or the experience they're going to get.
Mhm.
So like that professionalism that they get with us from the moment they walk in the door, from just they found you on the internet
Yeah.
to obviously the service delivery. Like
Mhm.
that's what we're focused on. And so
Mhm.
I think we focus on that a ton. Um, it's a little unique, but I think it's something that we're missing as professionals if we're not thinking about it that way.
Mhm. Mhm. Kind of like, didn't you say Chick-fil-A sends their people there too
Yeah,
to
I
get?
think so. I may be butchering that a little bit, but I'm pretty sure the Chick-fil-A, I got a lot of metaphors and analogies. I read a lot of
Mhm.
headlines. So like, it's just, we can't ever
Say what I was
trust it.
gonna say.
I mean, there's some truth there somewhere, but no, from the moment, like, everybody thinks Chick-fil-A's got this most amazing customer service. That's not by accident. They went and trained on this.
Mhm.
They built out this model.
But they have everything there that any other fast food restaurant has. The difference is the way that the people communicate with
Yeah.
the customers.
If you
Really
ever
is
want
the
to throw
reason.
them off, just tell them your pleasure. Whenever they give you your stuff, it completely throws them for a loop. They're like, oh, it is.
They have to be trained on that.
Yeah, yeah. But like, it's just one of those things. Like, if you're waiting in line just as long at Chick-fil-A as you are anybody else, like,
Or
you know what I'm
more.
saying?
Or more.
Or more.
Yeah.
A lot of times more, but you don't feel it,
Right.
all because they say
Well,
thank
no,
you.
you'll do it.
But no, that's something that we're doing internally a lot. But I think it's really a piece that's passionate about us is like, I'm fiercely like obsessed with the client experience. There's a technical side of everything that we do, but it's, advisory. Let's talk about that for a second. Advisory has such an ugly kind of connotation out of depending. I mean, you can tell like, oh, you do advisory, or oh, you do advisory.
Mhm.
Oh, you do tax strategy. Oh, you're a tax strategist. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like you can, in
That has a connotation in the industry,
well,
I think, more
colleagues
than it
and
does in
peers.
general public.
Well, I know you're right, right. But like, no, like there is a ugly way to do this. There is a very manipulative way to do this. There is a very, back the Hearst up kind
Mhm.
of messaging of like your CPA doesn't do this, doesn't want you to know this. Like it's tacky.
Right.
And then there's a way that, you can have a quiet confidence about this, knowing that you're going to add value to the client based on how you can, how you,
It's a very broad term that's used.
unregulated even more. You know what I mean?
Fair. Yeah. I mean, a lot of different people are using it in different ways, but that's why when we talk to people initially, even I say, here's what we mean by tax planning. Here's what tax strategy is to us.
To us.
Here's our
Explain that.
process.
What does that mean?
What does that mean to
Mhm.
us? And so it's not at the end of the year, hey, go business owner, go buy 3 trucks if
Right.
you want to pay less taxes. Now, yeah, that could be a component of the spending strategy, right? Or a spending
Mhm.
strategy at the end of the year.
Mhm.
Yeah, because you need them, not
Yeah.
because you're trying to save taxes. You
Right.
can't let, what do you say? You can't let the tax
Tail wag the
tail
dog.
wag the dog on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like that one. But yeah, being able to do it differently and then also articulate that and explain that to people in a way that they
Right.
can grasp it is important because you can use a lot of accounting or tax or technical terms, right?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
at the simplest level, people just want to know that you care. People want to know that you have some process, and people want to trust that you're going to do that for them, whatever it is that you're telling them, right?
Right.
So, having that process and having that mindset behind everything we do makes them feel comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Coming
100%.
into it,
Yeah.
which is why I think we can command the engagements that we do, and that'll probably be a
Right.
different time that we talked about
Yeah.
that and those type of things.
Yeah.
But it is that was something that was surprising to me coming into it, and why I realized there was such a demand, I
Right.
guess, for the the advisory
Yeah,
component to
yeah.
it.
Well, and to a point, a lot of people hear tax planning. Everybody thinks they want tax planning, but some people don't
This
know
is
what
true.
tax planning is too. We learned that too. Everybody wants tax planning, but first off, there's sometimes where there's not much tax planning to do,
Yeah.
and but I think once we explain what that means to us and what that what that fit is, what that actually means, there is absolutely a market for it, and like dare I say, like people are just like they're searching for it. They don't even know they're searching for it.
Hmm.
So when they hear it, it's like news. It's like they like music to their ears.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? You're like just popped in their brain and just said everything that they fear
Hmm.
for. And so I mean, and we're doing it too. Like I mean, we're business owners. We're real estate investors. We have multiple things that we kind of get our hands into. Most accountants do. A lot of accountants do that I know. And so like we can kind of speak to their pain points.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, that's just the thing. Like I love talking about that. I can riff on that all day long. But let's talk about like a little bit of what what makes us. Where do we get off talking about this? You know what I mean? Like as a group, why would anybody listen to us? In your opinion, like why do you think we're how are we different from everybody else?
Repetition.
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't want to say experience because I mean,
Hmm.
look at us. We got relatively baby faces.
Hmm.
Kind of.
You're cute. That's nice of you to say.
That's why I had
Hmm.
to grew the
Hmm.
mustache out. I
Hmm.
had to, and then the family liked it, so it stayed.
Yeah,
So
like
yeah, no.
6 months well worth it. Mhm, mhm.
That was good. I get comments, not compliments, on it often. So I should
Mhm,
really take those into
mhm.
more consideration. But
My midlife crisis is growing my hair out. I'm trying to be, Aaron Sublet from Cass one day whenever I grow up.
is that like business in the front? Like what is that? Party in the
Yeah,
back with this?
I'm gonna do the mullet lightning bolt.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll figure that out later. So,
y'all will be cute in October in Las
ooh,
Vegas
I'm always
at
cute.
Intuit.
I'm always cute.
Y'all walk around
Um,
have matching shirts or something, probably, if I had to guess.
ooh, I got off topic.
Yeah, I think I helped you.
What were we talking about?
Why are people going to
Re
listen to us?
repetition
I guess,
experience.
yeah, no, for sure. Like, and what I explain to people too, because we get a lot of questions about, hey, I'm wanting to exit to PE. Have y'all
Mhm,
had any experience with that? Or we're a startup trying to get going. Those
mhm,
people may not be a great fit for us. We can talk about that some other time and how we've kind of figured that out through trial and error.
mhm.
But I speak the fact that you and the tax managers that we have on the team have seen so many different things
Yeah,
and been through so many situations that you can draw on that knowledge to really help clients in a lot of situations. Yes, we're definitely focused in a couple different areas, but uh, you know, the breadth of knowledge that kind of exists and the ability to draw on that
yeah.
is I think where we get it from. What gives us the ability to do that, I don't know. Maybe you can speak to even how this got started. As
Well,
where did you come
it's
up with tax planning from your perspective?
yeah,
So,
well, I think we're all doing it. We've been kind of doing it to some degree.
and then you realize
From
it
the
one day.
day you realize, "Oh, I could do this and they can do that and it saves money." Like, I mean, that's where it goes off. I mean, for me, the essence of how do you save money and design and structure things in a certain way to pay less taxes. We all know, oh, the wealthier doing it and the top,
Mhm. There has to be more.
yeah,
There has to be something.
there has to be something.
That's it.
There has to be something. It kind of started from from the professional womb, if you will, in that case.
It's a
So
weird,
that's
weird mental picture.
that's a new one. Uh,
So
professional. Um, hmm, weird. But it started at some point and like planted a seed. But I think to me, it's the conviction. Like, we know what we're doing and is helping our client. Like we
Mhm,
know,
mhm,
and we can see a little bit ahead of where they even don't necessarily know where they're going,
mhm.
and everything ends up just being a series of decision trees. But like having conviction that what we're doing is adding value and being able to ultimately demonstrate that and deliver that and doing it with
But
confidence.
that's, from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, that's a muscle that you had to
Yeah.
work out.
Yeah.
That wasn't day one, Trevor.
Yeah.
That was, day whatever. I don't know, 2 years, 3 years down the
Right.
road, where you
Right.
finally were like, "Listen, this is what we're doing. I know in your own head, I know
Right.
what we're doing here,"
Like,
and that confidence
yeah.
kind of oozed out at that point.
Few light bulb moments for sure. It's hard to kind of put it's kind of hard to put an exact date on it, but I remember things that we used to get stoked for, things now that aren't even close to being fits without
Mhm,
like saying numbers or anything like
mhm,
that. And so, I think Jason Stats talks about all the time of like, firms that charge this can't believe other firms charge this, which
right,
can't
yeah,
believe, it's just a waterfall effect. You go through a door and you just walk into a room with more doors.
mhm,
And so it's just the idea of that. But I think we know what we're doing for our clients. Like we
mhm,
know there's value there. Um, how do you wrap that up? It's not like it's not even a sense of how do you charge for it. That's not it. It's how do you create that overall into an all inclusive or a package of services that you can then ultimately put in front of somebody and show them, and so say like, hey, pick me, or this is what we do, this is how we do it, this is our process, and we know we're going to deliver results for you. And
mhm,
that's really what it comes down to. So, I mean, we don't have 3-tier pricing. We have 1-tier pricing.
mhm,
We know, I mean, granted, we go to 3 tiers, maybe on renewal, maybe on a scope and, increase or decrease or something along those lines. But year one, fresh out the gate, we want exactly how to design. And
mhm,
like that, and I think the word conviction is just the word that keeps popping up, is like, we know exactly what we want to do for them. We know how we're going to do it. We know the time it takes to do that. And we know what it takes to do it right.
yeah.
So diminishing that value or diminishing that service to try to find some solution along the spectrum that makes it work for the client.
You mean pricing solution?
Pricing solution, yeah. Yeah. To me, like, it just is what it is. And so I think it's just the hardest thing too is just like it feels salesy. It feels salesy sometimes. Or people think it feels salesy. And I
People think it feels
think,
salesy.
but again, it's
You're
one of those
you're
things.
providing a need to somebody in that
Right.
case, and I realize sales, you're
Yeah.
providing some type of need. We're
Right.
solving some type
Right.
of
Right.
a problem, but they're reaching out to us for
Yeah.
something. I wanted
Yeah.
to say as part of that too, because you know by having the singular price engagement, and it's an annual price, and most of our clients are paying monthly on
Right.
that, right?
Right.
And that's how we just break it out for cash
Yeah.
flow and other reasons
Right. This
on
makes
their end.
sense.
But
Mhm.
we're not doing typically bookkeeping for them,
No.
or you know weekly bookkeeping. We're not doing AR. We're not doing AP. We're not doing payroll
Right.
as part of that.
Right.
We are, and we're not doing sales tax.
No, no. So any traditional accounting services, from bookkeeping right upward to full cycle accounting, we don't do it.
Yeah.
We do tax compliance, we do tax planning, and we do business advisory. Now, business advisory, tax planning, those kind of go synonymous with one each other. Like, they're both two sides of the same coin.
Right.
But yeah, it's true. It's kind of slightly non traditional, so it's niched,
Hmm.
but it's what tax firms do, but they're not able to deliver the service because they're often drowning in pure compliance work.
Right.
So,
Or recovering for. 30, 60
Yeah,
days.
coming out of the hole, going
Right.
back, out of it. So yeah, no, I think that's what makes us unique. I mean, we've been very blessed as a firm. Like we've grown 40% year over year. Up until the last 6 months, we've spent not a penny on ads, but obviously we're trying to target that in and look for the specific type of client that we really love working with. And most clients use that or CPAs or accountants use that as a badge of honor. They don't spend money on marketing, but we hadn't had to.
Mhm.
But I think too, it's like developing the reflex of what you do for people and being able to try to get that out there to as many people. Like I want to help as many people as we possibly can.
Mhm.
I want to get in front of as many, especially within our core market and our niche. Want to get in front of them.
Yep.
Like get in front of them and say, like, we can help you.
Mm.
These people aren't doing it. And if that strikes a chord with you, have a conversation with
Mhm.
us.
Mhm.
And I mean, try to do it and have fun while we're doing it. Like I love what we do. Kind of going back, like sort of synonymous with that and a step backwards is I always say that I think we're the best at what we do for who we do it for, you
Yeah,
know?
because we're very specific on who we do it for.
Right. Again, I can't say we're the best of all people, but like
Well,
we're the best at what we do, who we do it for.
we're in that middle market because there's clients that are
Hmm.
admittingly too small for us,
Yeah.
and there's clients that have either outgrown us or are too big for us, and we'll tell them that, and we've not engaged with a few of them this year that have
Right.
come to us. They were large contractors, and it's just
Yeah.
like, hey guys, like you need a big team,
Yeah.
and it's going to be real hard to tax plan for the owner because of the way you're structurally set
Yeah.
up,
Yeah.
and so we recognize that, and we know where we want to focus.
Right.
Right, we're not chasing everything.
Right. So in the end, so we focus heavy on our process, our delivery, the way we go about our business, and trying to systematize is much of a very non-systematizable
That's the
type
hard
of
part.
engagement. Like that's the secret sauce, right? Can you systematize this? And it's tough. Everybody's their own little thing. Everybody's their own problems,
Hmm.
niche or no niche. Like they're different.
Hmm.
Every client's different. Because at the end, like we're planning at the individual. Like we're using a business as a conduit, and so we always talk about like write-offs. That's kind of the running joke of like what we kind of look for.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're helping them at the individual. Like I'm
Hmm.
helping Joel at the end of the
Hmm.
day. I'm not helping Joel's business,
Right.
LLC, that kind of thing. So
Hmm.
I think, and we focus on how we deliver the service, the type of thing that we do, how we do it, how we like, again, like kind of like how we design the client engagement from start to finish. And then on top of that, try to focus on who we do it for.
Hmm.
It's kind of the next step, right? Like
Hmm.
making sure that we're the right fit. You mentioned small. A lot of times small just means we're not right. Yeah, it's just not.
Yeah,
It's a
we're a
not
new
right. It's a
startup.
not right now.
Hmm.
It's like, hey, we can add value, but given that the work is kind of the same, and sometimes it just ends up being math that makes results look better or worse,
Hmm.
multiplication at a higher tax bracket. But there's no reason to try to like pump it's hard to beat our chest over over the fact that someone's in a 40% bracket versus a
Hmm.
24% bracket.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
We didn't do anything differently.
Hmm.
So, but I know a lot of folks do that. So we don't want to play that game ever. But yeah, how we do it, how we go about our business, focusing on those experiences and the client design and the client and
I was gonna something that came to mind was deliverable. So we always
mhm,
want to like, these clients are paying us
right.
to do this work, right? The
Hmm.
deliverable in most cases is the tax return. The
That's at least
deliverable,
one of them.
it's one of them,
Yeah.
right? But with our engagements, it's very different, and our deliverable is not always something that's tangible. It
Yeah.
ends up being the quarterly meetings that we have with clients throughout the year,
Right.
and what comes about through those, and the knowledge that we can instill in them, and the help that we can provide to them through those. But we've already harped on it, but being available and those type of things is
Hmm.
part of the deliverable
Right.
as well. The thing that I think we've struggled with is relaying that
We're
to
not here to
clients.
talk about struggles, Joel. We're only doing good things.
Is that what it is?
No, anyways, I cut you off, sir.
No, I was on a riff there, and you.
What we struggle with.
No, a lot. I don't. That list is actually on my desk over there.
All right.
So I,
Yeah.
that's during our improvement season, right? Is that what DBA calls it? Is
Yeah.
in improvement season?
Yeah.
Um, I did lose my train of thought, so I appreciate that. Thanks so much.
Sorry.
What was I talking about?
You'll find it. Get over it.
I don't know. What was I talking about?
Um,
What didn't we do good or struggle? Oh, I know what it is. Thank you, myself, for remembering the reminding clients when we meet with them, like, hey,
right.
here's because what you do for me this time, because not every quarterly meeting, admittedly, is a blowout. That
Yeah.
we're going to blow their minds with strategy and
Right.
business advice or
Yeah.
something else, right? So
Yeah.
we always try to start it with a reminder of, hey, here's just and do it in a way that's professional, right?
Right. Right.
I'm not trying to put it in their face, but we're trying to
Like
say,
me.
yeah,
Like me. And
lightly saying, hey, just a reminder, here's what we did last
yeah.
quarter, or here's what we did last time.
Uh,
Remember our tax savings? We got that tax savings because we did these things. We're going to
mhm,
continue
mhm,
those things, and we didn't make sure that we keep this file
yeah.
compliant, that we're doing the documentation behind it. And just so you know, we're continuing to do that in the background. You may not see it, client,
Right.
but we are doing it. And just a reminder, we got those results previously because of that work we did that we're continuing to do now as
Right.
well, especially in those 1 or 2 quarters that may be a little bit lighter on the advice side. So,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, one delivery inevitably is the tax return, the client's piece, filing the thing, doing the thing. And then we deliver obviously multiple steps along the way of we deliver the tax planning documents,
mhm,
the documentary evidence, the you know, logs and the things like that that we're tracking and doing on their behalf. And, we can give them the tax plan that's just a whole bunch of tax code citations and stuff like that that kind of reinforce kind of the platform in which we're doing it. But like it never changes. Tax planning just turns into more tax planning.
mhm,
And what we've seen, and it's hard to really think about it because my biggest reservation was why would someone keep paying you a
mm,
premium to essentially do the same thing?
mhm.
Like,
We'll
why
talk
would
about that. Yeah.
um And I mean, there's fact in that. And so whenever we do that and whenever it stays that way, admittingly, there's a scope decline. There's no reason to keep paying the same. The first year's a big lift often. And so there's no reason to keep doing it. But what we found, and I mean, it's more often than not, I can't put a percentage on it, but
We
is
should be able to, but
they do more. They get into more
oh, the
things.
client does.
That's
Yeah.
what I meant. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, they do more. Yeah, I'm good at math. Don't worry. And um they do more stuff like they go buy a real estate property or they want to go have a short-term rental or they want to
Grow the
buy a
business.
new business, grow a new business. They want to add more things into our business, like it wasn't the time, but now it is. Let's talk about retirement planning.
Mhm.
Let's talk about 401k. Let's talk about cash balance pension. Let's talk about profit sharing. Let's talk about, I mean, all these things. And
Captive insurance.
captive insurance, love captive insurance. And love captive insurance, love oil and gas. Like there's all these things. There's all these things that they can do. And sometimes it's just not the right time. And we're not sandbagging anything. But like we just know for a fact, like if you're doing this, there's no way you're going to go fund a cash balance pension. So
Mhm,
what's the point of even mentioning it?
mhm,
Now it is,
mhm.
and so there's always more, and again, if it truly stays status quo, okay, fine. We reevaluate, we decrease scope, we maybe meet semi-annually, whatever the case is. And there's perfectly nothing wrong with sending a client on.
Mhm,
Hey, we've been doing this a couple of years. Ain't nothing changing.
mhm.
You know, you want another recommendation or, we can keep doing this as long as we need to.
You had a heck. I didn't cuss purposely. Of the little
Heck,
Texas drawl there with your little ain't.
I did that.
Yeah,
Right
you
here.
did pretty hard.
Yeah. Can't never could. Um, well,
Your Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, coming out. I'm sorry, Arlington, Texas.
yeah, I mean, if you really want to get technical, we're going into Kennedale where the racetrack and the liquor stores are. Um, you know, um,
That's your hood.
that's my hood.
Yeah.
So anyways, but yeah, no, I think that's the main thing. We love what we do. Like, I think we focus on the right things. I think we've developed this process and this platform
Mhm,
so that we can deliver quality service that is reliable, repeatable, and it's a value add to our clients. And that's the thing that I think that and we love trying to like focus on. You mentioned it too, is, you know, reminding the clients what we're doing. because it's
Yeah,
very
that's
it's
crucial for everybody to be doing
I
that.
mean, it's very much a what have you done for me lately world. I think we're all victim to it.
And we have paper. We don't have anything tangible they can hold in their hand.
Yeah,
They can't get a new iPhone and hold that in their hand and play with it.
right. So like we we bring it to their attention not as a way to wait, but like sometimes it's we did something so long ago
Mhm.
and it's hard to remember what we've done. So
No
one,
doubt.
we're just validating like what they're doing is
Mhm.
making it's working,
Mhm.
and is there a need to adjust?
Mhm.
That's important. But yeah, no, I mean Q2 is the hardest. We'll just kind of just talk about that for a second. Q2 is the
Well,
hardest time. I'll just we'll end everything just kind of when we talked about, because we're talking about what we do as a firm, how we do it, how we kind of structure our engagements and stuff like that, and like how we focus on the client experience. I think that's just a piece of it. It's what we do. I think it works, and the main thing is we just want to do good work for our clients and have fun along the way doing it. So we hope to keep doing it for a long time. I think we've got something good going, and
we're still learning.
we're
Like
still learning.
every time we do something, whether it's a new engagement or a new what we call PNC, potential new client that comes
Yeah,
in, we're tweaking it. And I think you have to, because your team changes, kind of the goals of the teams tend to change. Your
right.
ideal client changes, your avatar that you're looking for changes. So
Mhm.
you can't set it and just think it's going to stay the same. It's going to constantly change.
Yeah, well said. That's 100%. Firm's different today than it was 6 months ago, than it was 6 months before that.
Hmm.
Just keeps going, and eventually we'll hit a cruising altitude. I know we will,
Yeah.
but until then, let's keep riding the rocket ship. So, anyways, well, appreciate the time, but we'll
Yeah.
keep talking on this some more,
All right.
and
We'll go a little deeper maybe in the
we'll
next.
talk about write offs next time. This time, let's talk about let's end this. It's part of the thing that we always do is what's the weirdest write off that you heard this week, or what was the weirdest attempted write off that you experienced this week? I already have one in my mind.
You do yours first. While I think of one. I didn't know you were going to throw this at me.
Ketamine. I'll do a whole episode around its ketamine and write off, but I'm gonna plant that little seed. But literally was asked if ketamine's a write off.
Hmm.
So
The one I heard this week was a guy trying to write off his boat.
fair enough.
If and how, if he bought it through the business, he uses it for entertainment. He takes some clients out
But
on
yeah,
the boat.
my favorite piggyback off of that is a very, very successful criminal defense attorney slash real estate broker in our hometown here.
Oh,
Um, is an outfitter. So his boat is a necessary, ordinary, reasonable expense in his
interesting.
mind. In his mind.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we'll just.
So you got to get a captain's license for that? I don't know. We're good on that.
Anyways, he's like
I'm
the fourth.
curious
He's
now.
like the fourth ranked fisherman in the South Texas Gulf. I don't know, whatever.
I'm going to look him up.
Yeah, he's full of shit. All right.